Hey, it's Travis Anderson with Keller Williams Realty. Let's take a look at a Q1 market update. Travis Anderson, let's talk about a Q1 market update, including prices and where we think things are going to be moving forward here. Let's take a look real quick. So if we look at home prices, they're actually up 2% from 2024 to 2023 Q1. You can see that here. If we look at this larger graph and we expand out all the way to 2014, what you can see is that home prices have actually appreciated by 5.9% on average per year. Now, according to Keller Williams, Gary Keller, he believes that the Federal Reserve will say that they want a 4% appreciation. So over the last decade, we are appreciating at a much higher percentage than what the Federal Reserve would like, at almost 6% instead of 4%. Now, if you look at Q1 now compared to Q1 last year, we're appreciated at 2%. That's much more in line with what we should be seeing. And so we'll see if this trend continues or even if prices come down. Now, what you see here in closed sales, we're actually down 13.7% Q1 of 2014 to Q1 of 2023. And you can see it pretty dramatically in this graph. If we expand out over the last 10 years, what you can see is we've got closed sales were pretty flat from 2016 to 2020 at about 60,000 home sales. Then we had the government response to COVID. And what you can see is at the end of the year 2020, around August, September, we saw this huge influx of demand where many people started buying homes. That drove the prices up. It also drove the number of closed sales up almost to 70,000 on a 12-month average. And then since then, about the middle of 2022, we have plummeted. We're down to less than 45,000 home sales over the course of the last 12 months, which you can see in this graph. And that is a dramatic decline. You know, it says 13% from last year, but that's quite the decline, 44,000 compared to 60, slightly above 60,000. That's what you're seeing here on this graph. This next graph I'm going to talk about is probably my favorite. What this is what we call the seasonal months supply of inventory. Real quick, what is the month supply of inventory? Month supply is the number of buyers buying compared to the number of sellers selling. And so it really shows us the supply and demand at the same time in a single graphic. Let's take a look. Now, the month supply of inventory you can see in the beginning of 2023 was 1.4 months. That means it would take 1.4 months to liquidate all of the homes on the current market with the number of buyers buying. Fast forward to 2024, Q1 we looked at, we were 1.8 homes for sale. As you can see, it does go up throughout the year. So it increases to the peak in the middle of the year. We're already up from 1.4 to 1.8. That's only going to continue to increase during the year. And we'll see how that affects the prices. Again, so what this number represents is the number of homes for sale relative to buyers. So the higher the number means there are more homes for sale per every one buyer. So keep that in mind. Now, if we look at this more historically, what you can see, and I'm going to draw kind of a median red line here, you can see that the number in 2014 was more like 4. That was a really balanced market. It kind of came down all the way to 2018 into 2020, and then we came bottom down in 2021, and now we're kind of on the way back up. So what we know from the month supply of inventory is that home prices are more balanced, or the negotiation of home prices is more balanced when we're between 4 and 6 months of inventory. If I could go back on this graph, which I can only go back to 10 years right now, but if I could go back before 2014, what you would see before 2012, between 2008 and 2012, is the month supply of inventory was drastically higher than 4. In fact, we got upwards of 10 or 12 months of inventory in the Twin Cities. Of course, that drove prices way down because now you've got substantially more homes on the market than there are buyers buying. Whereas of today, we're still in a seller's market. This is a quick snapshot of the first quarter, and then of course expanding out to the last 10 years so you can have a reference point. If you've got any questions about your home, about buying a home, any questions about this report, give me a call, shoot me a text. Love to have those conversations.